Hey there fellow coders, welcome back to another episode on Codemaster Quest. In today's episode, we are going to tackle another question related to the binary trees. So let's get started and find the problem statement on LeetCode. The problem is pathSum. Given the root of a binary tree, an integer like targetSum, return the number of passes where the sum of the value along the path equal to targetSum. And the path does not need to start or end and the root or a leaf, but it must go downwards. So if you look at the example number 1, we should return 3 because we have a path here including 5 and 3. Another one include 5, 2 and 1, and the last one which is minus 3 and 11. So now let's come back to the Visual Studio Code and try to solve this problem. Before solving the question, let's talk about our observation. To solve this problem, I want to use a pre-order traversal, and at each step I want to keep track of the running sum. So if we started from node, the root node, and then move to the 5, and then move to the 3, the running sum is going to be 10, then 15, and then 18, right? And we want to keep track of the number of values for the running sum in a dictionary, right? So now let's copy the function signature and 3-node definition and paste it inside the Visual Studio Code. Let me change to the Visual Studio Code and paste the code. There we go. Extract the 3-node definition since we want to work with this 3-node definition, and then define a helper function which is the pre-order traversal, right? So let's say pre-order input is going to be 3-node, optional, and current sum, which is an integer. And we are not going to return anything from this function, so it's void. And to get rid of this optional 3-node, let me guard it here. Let's say guard let root equal to root, else return. And then we need to extract the value from this root and say, and before that, since we want to change the value of the current sum, let's store it inside a variable. Let's say car sum equal to car sum, or current sum, right? And then let me say current sum is going to be equal plus equal to root.val, right? And if the value for the current sum after this change is going to be equal to the expected sum, we should increase the number of times by 1, right? But before that, we need to store this target sum somewhere, right? So let's say we have a variable here, sum equal to 0 at the beginning, and then self.sum is going to be target sum, right? Since we want to call the pre-order function after setting the value for the sum. Root and the current sum at the beginning is 0, right? And maybe we can define a count here as well, which is 0 by default. And after adding the value of the root to the current sum, we can check whether if current sum is equal to sum, then let's increase the count by 1, right? And after that, we need to have the reference to the number of times that we see each value for the running sum. So we need to have a dictionary here, dictionary between integer and integer, and it's empty by default. And we should increase the count by dict current sum minus sum, and default value is going to be 0. Yeah, there we go. And then we should increase the number of times that we see this current sum in the dictionary. So let's say dict for the current sum, and default is 0, increased by 1. And let's call the pre-order function for the left subtree and right subtree. So let's say root.left and current sum, pre-order, root.right and current sum. And after performing the pre-order for the for the left subtree and right subtree, we should decrease the number of times that we see current sum by 1. So let's say dict current sum default 0 decrease it by 1. So if you look at here, we calculated the number of times that we see a pass downward with summation equal to targetSum. And at the end, we should return count. Right? So if you look at here one more time, first of all, we try to get rid of the optional 3 node. Then, since we are going to change the current sum during the in the scope of this function, let's make a variable instance of this current sum. Then increase the value of the current sum by the value of this root, the value that we stored inside this root. And then if the current sum is equal to expected sum that we set it here, let's increase the count by 1. And since we are storing the each value for the running sum inside the dictionary, let's say whether we can find another pass by this difference inside the dictionary, and if it's possible, let's increase the count, and then add the current value of the sum to the dictionary, perform the same operation for the left subtree and right subtree, and after performing this operation, we should decrease the number of times that we see current sum by 1. Now, to make sure there is no syntax error, let me try to run my Swift file. There is some syntax error. Current sum label is not provided, so maybe we can add a underscore here, clear, and run it one more time. And it seems there is no syntax error anymore. So let's copy the solution, come to the browser, paste it just right here, and hit the submit button. There we go. Here's the solution for this question. Thank you, everyone.